Hi everyone. Today we are going to look at the science of mathematics. Now, I know most of you don't like math, and neither do I, but the thing is, when we talk about mathematics, mathematics is a collection of different forms of sciences. There are 5 main categories in mathematics. First, algebra. Algebra is the study of equations. For example, if I ask you that if Tom is 3 times older than Jimmy, and Tom and Jimmy together, they are 20 years of age. That means their age added to each other would add up to 20. How old is Tom and how old is Jimmy? If it's taking you more than 3 seconds, your math is not good. All you have to do is to put Jimmy as x, Tom as 3x, 3x plus x equals 20, 3x plus x equals 4x equals 20, 4x equals 20, so 20 divided by 4 is 5, so Jimmy is 5 and Tom is 15 years old. The way we did that was using algebra. However, mathematics is not just algebra. We also have arithmetics. And arithmetics is the study of basic calculations. For instance, plus or addition, minus or subtraction, times or multiply, and divide or division, and equal, which is equation. For example, 2 plus 3 equals 5. 5 minus 4 equals 1. 1 times any number equals that number. For example, 1 times 20 equals 20. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. Now 10 to the power of 2 equals 100. And the square root of 100 equals 10. So what is the square root of 81? 9. I hope it's not taking you too long. Thirdly, after algebra and arithmetics, we have calculus. And calculus is the study of probability. For instance, if I flip a coin and I ask you, is it going to be heads or tails? The chances of being heads is 1 over 2, which is 50%. And the chance of being tails is another 50%. If I have a bag of, let's say, 3 blue balls and 4 red balls and 2 black balls and 1 green ball, and I ask you what is the chance of taking a black, well, that's 2 over 10, which is 20%. That 2 over 10, in English we call it fraction. And then if your fraction, which is like 1 over 2, we say half. Or 1 over 4, we say quarter. But 1 over 3, we call it 1/3, or 2 over 3 is like 2/3. For instance, 2/3 of the earth is covered by water, and 1/3 is covered by land. That is fraction. But if you put decimals, for example, 2.05, then that's a decimal. You can have decimals, you can have whole numbers, and you can have fractions. So the first subcategory of mathematics was algebra. Second was arithmetics. Third was calculus. Fourth is statistics. And statistics is the study of graphs and data. For example, bar graphs or line graphs. Line graphs are progressive and dynamic, whereas bar graphs are static and comparative. Pie charts, tables, and data. When you talk about data, when we have a group of numbers, we can find a relationship between these numbers using either central tendency or central variance. By central tendency, we mean mean, mode, and median. Mean is the average, and mode is the number that is the most frequent, and median is the middle one. Whereas this is not sufficient, we also need to find variance. Variance is how well that data is dispersed. So for instance, you can have a class where 5 students get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 on the exam from 20. And then you have another class in which, let's say 6 students, 10, 10, 10. And you have another class in which 3 students got 20 and 3 students got 0. Both classes have the same mean, but they don't have the same variance. The variance in the first class is perfect because they're all equal. And well, the distribution is actually 0 because they're all the same. Whereas in the second class, the variance is very high because you have a student 20 and you have a student 10. That variance, the square root of variance, is the standard deviation that we use for research. And of course, range. Range is the highest subtracted by the lowest mark. in which in the first class the range is 0, 10 minus 10 is 0, but in the other class 20 minus 0, the range is 20, which means the class is very much dispersed in terms of their competence and performance. So mathematics can either be algebra, or arithmetics, or calculus, or statistics, or the last one that we all hate very much, at least I do, geometry. And geometry is the study of shapes and triangles. For example, if you have a perpendicular triangle and the height is 3 centimeters and the base or the length is 4 centimeters, and you want to calculate the diagonal, then you have to use Pythagorean theory, in which, according to the Pythagorean theory, when you have a perpendicular triangle, the height to the power of 2 plus the length to the power of 2 equals the diagonal to the power of 2. So let's say if the height is 3 centimeters and the length is 4 centimeters, then 3 to the power of 2 equals 9, and 4 to the power of 2 equals 16. 9 plus 16 equals 25. The square root of 25 is 5. Therefore, the diagonal is 5 centimeters. I'm sure you all remember that from grade 4 or 5 or whichever. Depends which country you studied. I'm sure if you studied in India, you had known that by grade 2. But in Canada, we studied that in grade 5. And I still remember, thank God, the Pythagorean theory. I hope you do as well. Thank you.